Whenever I dig into this with customers, it comes back to the same two places. The first is the kind of 20-60-20 performance dynamic. Your top 20% of your reps are self-motivated. They're going to hit the number regardless of what infrastructure you have or whatever tools they've been given. And the bottom 20%, they might just be misaligned for the role. That middle 60, they have the skill, but they lack the consistent motivation. And that's really where your ROI lives. It's taking that skill, giving it the structure, giving it the recognition, and giving them a reason to push past their comfort zone to be able to achieve better results than they could normally.
Yeah, I think all sales leaders see this. Like you said, the top 20 will do good no matter what. They're motivated differently. They're just good, right? Those A players that, and we all want those A players. There's just not enough to go around. So you get into that middle 60% where you have some B players and maybe they're just new to the industry or that's just kind of what they are. There's such a large group of those people that that's where you can make the biggest impact on the revenue line. Improving those A players, it'll help, but you can drastic improvements where you get that middle 60% improving 15, 20, 30%. And you get that improvement from those people in the middle. But then you also, every once in a while, you see those A players that are like, oh, so and so's catching up to me. They give a little bit more at that point as well, right? It's being able to motivate the middle people. That's key to success across the sales field for sure.
Absolutely. So it's kind of hard to you can't really have a sales growth strategy that's like based around hiring the best talent and the
Right.
top performers, right? And making sure that every member of your team is along that caliber. But you can definitely get real benefit out of taking the reps that you have today and using different motivational levers to squeeze a little bit more out of that segment of your business, right?
For sure. And I think you see like finding out what motivates these people as well. Like I think sales were mostly money motivated, but not everybody is motivated by that, right? And it's the recognition that they're missing, or that little tap, saying good job every once in a while, where they're probably not getting that as much because they're not as closing as much business. But once you get a little bit of that recognition and get that snowball effect going, and momentum breeds momentum, with that, the lag of that feedback you get when you're out in the field all day, you're banging on doors, you're having good conversations, but no one says good job to you until Friday or maybe the next week. So with a tool like SalesScreen, pulling in that Spotio data, you're getting that constant reinforcement, and it really stops the highs and the lows where you're not getting too high one day or too low the other day. Just kind of a nice gradual constant growth. We see a lot of our partners and customers that are really benefiting from that.
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned that, Kevin, because that's the second piece that tends to be kind of the trend with the customers that I talk to is that delayed feedback loop. Field sales, I definitely know this from experience. It can be a psychological grind, right? Compared to working in an offensive environment where there's the built-in social energy, somebody to compete with, a manager who can see you working. Field reps are generally solo. It's just you and your territory, man. You got to get it done, right? And so that is where we see that feedback loop being a little more persistent, like you're mentioning, Kevin. I think that's a way that we can have performance not necessarily fluctuate based on the mood, right? We can use that motivational engine to actually get more out of the field.
Yeah, it's lonely out there all by yourself, and the days of being around the other people and getting that uplift from the masses is really hard in a remote world or out in the field, right? So this is the way to kind of bring that team atmosphere together. You close a deal or you hit a goal, you get a notification on your phone, it gets a little bit of excitement going. You also see when other people are doing well. So it kind of promotes that team growth aspect as well, but also that competitiveness that most salespeople have within them to want to be better, to want to win. So there's a lot of different kind of benefits that come along with that.